New Hampshire is a state in the New England region of the northeastern United States. It is bordered by Massachusetts to the south, Vermont to the west, Maine and the Gulf of Maine to the east, and the Canadian province of Quebec to the north. New Hampshire is about 190 miles long from north to south and about 70 miles wide from east to west. The geographic center of New Hampshire is located in Belknap County, 3 miles east of Ashland. Overall, New Hampshire has got 10 counties. The state covers 9,351 square miles, making it the 45th largest of the 50 states. New Hampshire was inhabited for thousands of years by Algonquian-speaking peoples, such as the Abenaki. Europeans arrived in the early 17th century, with the English establishing some of the earliest non-indigenous settlements. New Hampshire was one of the 13 original colonies of the United States, and was founded in 1623. The land in the New World was granted to Captain John Mason, who named the new settlement after his homeland in Hampshire County, England. Mason sent settlers to the new territory to create a fishing colony. However, he died before seeing the place where he had spent a considerable amount of money building towns and defenses. Following mounting tensions between the British colonies and the Crown during the 1760s, New Hampshire saw one of the earliest obvious acts of rebellion, with the seizing of Fort William and Marie from the British in 1774. In January 1776, it became the first of the British North American colonies to establish an independent government and state constitution. 6 months later, it signed the United States Declaration of Independence and contributed troops, ships, and supplies in the war against Britain. In June 1788, it was the 9th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, bringing that document into effect. Known for its natural beauty, New Hampshire features rugged mountains, clear blue lakes, and sandy lake and ocean beaches. All of these features are packed into one of the smallest states in the nation. Contained within the Appalachian Highlands, the three primary geological features and landforms of New Hampshire are the coastal lowlands, the eastern New England upland, and the White Mountain region. The coastal lowlands characterize the southeastern section of the state, where New Hampshire borders the Atlantic Ocean. With only 13 miles of coastline, the New Hampshire coastline is shorter than any other state that borders an ocean. The coastal lowlands extend from 15 to 20 miles into New Hampshire. The White Mountains region, north of the eastern New England upland, covers the northern portion of the state and consists of rugged mountains and narrow valleys. Mount Washington, the highest point in New Hampshire and the highest point in New England, is part of the Presidential Range. It is 6,288 feet above sea level and home to some of the worst weather in the world. Most of southern New Hampshire is covered by the eastern New England upland, the region that runs from northern Maine south to eastern Connecticut. The New Hampshire section is comprised of three distinct areas: the Merrimack Valley, the Hills and Lakes region, and the Connecticut River Valley. The Merrimack Valley extends from the Massachusetts border north to central New Hampshire. The Merrimack River runs through this hilly landscape. The soil is fertile, and fruits and hay are grown in this region. The valley is also home to New Hampshire's most prominent mill and factory cities and towns. The Hills and Lakes region contains most of New Hampshire's major lakes, including its largest, Lake Winnipesaukee. The Connecticut River Valley extends from the north to south along the Connecticut River, New Hampshire's border with Vermont. New Hampshire experiences a humid continental climate with warm, humid summers and long, cold and snowy winters. In winter, temperature may drop below -18 degrees Celsius for days at a time. Summers are relatively cold, and the mean annual temperature is about 7 degrees Celsius. Annual precipitation is approximately 42 inches and is rather evenly distributed over the 4 seasons. As of the 2020 census, the resident population of New Hampshire was 1,377,000 people, a 4.7% increase since the 2010 United States Census. The state's largest towns are Manchester, Nashua, Concord, Derry, and Dover. The state's capital is Concord. In 2022, New Hampshire's GDP reached $84 billion, representing an increase of 2.5% from 2021. New Hampshire's GDP has grown at an annualized rate of 2.5% over the 5 years to 2022. Moreover, New Hampshire's trailing 5-year GDP growth ranks it 5th out of all 50 US states. In 2019, the per capita real gross domestic product of New Hampshire was $57,000, a slight increase from the previous year. It is a tiny and insignificant state.